Hey there, it's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 164, and we're talking everything coming to screens in April 2024. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hey, hey.
And we've got Mike.
I'm here. Here we go.
He's here, fresh off of 60 hours of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Not consecutively, but I've hit that threshold. Yes.
It's a game where you can do that. I was just telling Mike in the pre-show that the hours are melting away in that game. For me, we're about 20 hours. Kayla and I. Kayla, how is your Queen's Blood addiction at this time?
I like it. I wake up thinking,
fun, right?
I hope Eric plays that card game. Like, oh, you want to play Final Fantasy VII? Go find those card players.
Kayla's
I
got
like
me
it. I
out
like the
of
card game a lot.
Yeah. Kayla's won 2 matches for me that I could not get past already. So,
oh, awesome.
Yeah, her Cactuar in the upper left hand corner.
Oh yeah,
good one.
Kayla knows. Kayla gets it.
Yeah,
we got the Shiva too, and we didn't know what it did for a long time, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I never rocked with Shiva.
It's pretty interesting. So if you have pawns anywhere on the thing and you play Shiva fills all of those pawn slots at the same time. They all get filled with like ice or whatever, but the ice points correspond to how many pawns you have on the board. So if you have 1 pawn, you get an ice worth like 2 points.
Yeah, doubles it.
It doubles it, yeah. So it's like 2 points, 4 points, up to 6 points. So if you had like a couple spots with three pawns, you got, 6, 12, whatever.
And it's pretty much like an end game like card too. You just boom, blank out the whole board, and I got 15 and you got nothing.
But you have to have a green pawn in that spot. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere on the board. It'll fill anywhere. Like it'll literally anywhere on the board. It doesn't matter. It's not like adjacent or anything else. So you could play her on the far left and fill up a spot on the far right. But you have to have a pawn somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's my strategy, and it's worked for the whole game so far. Is just go right as fast as you can. And then fill
Eric
in the
does
blank.
that too. He's always like, I'm like, why'd you get rid of that card? He's like, well, it starts from the right and fills backward. I'm like, okay, so what?
I don't like the backward.
You can't do it.
Ones. I
don't play any of those.
They're tough.
Forward and up and down, and that's all I need.
Yep.
Oh, Queen's Blood. So that's your daily Queen's Blood. Going into that game, everyone was talking it up. All the podcasts were like, man, Queen's Blood's pretty good. And I was like, all right, I don't know. I'm a triple triad guy, and I don't know that it's as good as triple triad. It's I would say more complex, definitely. Yeah. And so but it's good. It's really good. And I just I'll keep it spoiler free, but like after several matches or whatever else, there was like a cutscene that I was not expecting, and that was interesting.
The origins of Queen's Blood.
I guess so. Yeah. So I'm really, that got me even more interested. Aside from Kayla needling me, find players for me to beat.
There will be much more Queen's Blood for you very soon.
Okay.
I will say, like an entire chapter of it.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's cool. Well, good. Fort Condor as well. I know you weren't a fan.
That one I don't follow as much.
I did okay on Fort Condor. I found a strategy that worked on that one. Very defensive early on. Bring them to me, wipe them out, and then go on the offense. I used to be the opposite, and that did not work. So I condored it up. I've done some condoring. That's
I finished
too.
I finished the 3 or 4 that you have to do to get the thing, and I'm not doing hard mode ever.
Yeah, I don't plan on going any further. But that was also an interesting little cutscene that was like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? I don't know what this
That's
is.
like the side quest that I want to finish the most, I think, just to see what becomes of that.
The proto relics, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So 60 hours plus in, how are you feeling overall on Final Fantasy?
I'm ready for it to be kind of done. I'm kind of done doing everything. I've just kind of been really focusing in on those blue diamonds instead of the green side quest markers. I go just kind of beeline for the blue. Especially the region I'm in now is really annoying to navigate as well. So it does not lend itself to really wanting to get out there and explore. It's very like, wait, what is this is this up above? I gotta find one of the launch pad. It's a lot of that kind of like, what am I doing here?
Gotcha.
And I've moved from like regions really fast. I think I'm only have one more big spot left, I think. But I mean, still, I love the combat. I really and when you kind of move story wise, you get to the meaty boss fights and stuff way more quickly. And love the characters that I've gotten. Every one of them is like, oh, this is a really cool play style. Wow, all right. So far. Except for Aerith, still, I don't like her.
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to defend my girl Aerith. In every party I've had so far, her magic's really good. She's good at
but
magic.
It's so slow. It's so slow. It takes so long to build her up. She's in a boss fight, I'd say, yeah, because once she gets her setup, when she gets like her wards down and she's has invincibility while she's casting or something like that. Yeah, you're right. She can be pretty good, but nah, I like Red 13, get in there, swipe, like Berserker Barrage that shit, and then I don't know. I never use her unless I'm forced to.
Yeah, I've been Cloud and Barrett and Aerith a lot, or Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith a lot. I've got like an auto heal going on with Aerith, so that's usually by like mid-fight, she'll, heal me. So
he's got to heal. He's always got to have a heal.
Because I go in there with Cloud, and then like if Cloud's getting beat up, I'll swap to Barrett or Tifa or whatever, and do their thing, tank it up.
Oh, okay. That's
interesting. Two very different parties.
Yeah, but Aerith just sticks back, throwing little spells there, and then healing me up as her ATB fills up. So so far, and if I'm fully healed, I've got an auto like magic materia, one of those like fire and ice or something like that. So I think it's smart enough to know that, like, I've at least noticed it. She'll throw like an ice spell at an enemy who's like weak to ice and stuff. Like, I don't know if the system's actually that smart or it's just getting lucky or whatnot. But
I think I think once you've assessed something, then your party knows. Like, oh, okay.
That's what we do.
I always start with assess. Yeah, with Cloud, on Cloud and assess, and then boom. So. You're right. The combat is pretty cool. It was very hard to get my head around it. I would say the first couple hours, because it was just, you have your full party. You got a party of 5 from like the get, and a lot of different. You're unlocking a lot of stuff fairly early. A lot of materia. You're granted a bunch of materia just to start it off, and figuring that all out, especially coming from what I remembered of Remake, then playing the Yuffie DLC, and then going into this, they're similar systems, but like there's also quite a bit different in terms of like the upgrades and stuff. So it was a learning experience, but now I think I have it now. I'm still not 100. Like the weapon upgrades are still a little confusing to me. Like with Cloud, I'm still just rocking the first sword, the Buster Sword. And I don't know.
You didn't find the Sleek Saber or whatever?
I found the Sleek Saber, but I didn't really see because of like the materia slots and stuff, like it didn't seem like it was better, but it might just be me not understanding how to like upgrade it or whatever else. I saw
really you can learn a new ability with this, and then if you don't like the stats and the materia slots that you get, you should switch over. Once you've mastered that skill, you can switch over back to the Buster Sword and rock that, and you'll still know the unique ability from Sleek Saber.
That's cool.
Yeah, I might do that.
It's just the SP that you get upgrades your weapon level, and every 2 levels you get a new those like those weapon materia slots that give you like MP +3 or HP. You get another one of those. So like I'm at weapon level 6 right now with most of my characters, so I have three of those slots.
Yeah, I just got the second one like an hour ago or so.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a nice
good feeling. Thing. Those are good. Those are good buffs to get.
Yeah, that felt good.
And every weapon has its own unique like weapon materia or whatever that's called.
Okay. Yeah, it's a complex like system game. Like the combat's complex. Even like transmuting items and stuff like that, I find pretty like it took me a second. Like, oh, you get experience for the first time you transmute an item, and then it shows like because you can also do the transmuting of equipment and stuff for bangles and whatnot. Yeah. And it'll show you in the listing like whether it's equipped or not equipped, like and that kind of stuff. So that was very, I don't know, I had to wrap my head around a lot of those systems.
Well, that's just saying like, okay, Aerith has the blank bangle. If you make the enhanced, you're just upgrading what she has. It doesn't take it away from her or anything. Like you don't even have to re-equip. It just automatically will upgrade whoever that thing is, whatever that is equipped to,
Got it. Yeah.
There's just so much of that, like just deep stuff. And it's really however complicated you want it to be, really. I think you could really just get through the game just bashing, with Cloud and healing, like, you don't really have to interact with synergies or, and any of that stuff, really. But
I still haven't figured out, like, I remember last time we were talking about how to fill up the, like, synergy bar and activate those. It always feels great when it happens, when they tell you, like, hey, you got a synergy skill to go, hell yeah, because you just do the wildest stuff, and you get buffs. I didn't realize that either. Like, you'll get unlimited MP or whatever for...
sometimes,
like, so that's pretty cool. I found the combat to be incredibly frantic, and the camera, I don't know how good it for me. I find myself, you're doing all these wild moves and stuff, and then the camera's like looking the other way sometimes after
some of like the intel, like monster intel fights where you're trying to like don't get hit by this attack. It has like 3 objectives that you have to do. That's where the camera, like, how am I supposed? There's 3 birds that keep moving constantly. I can't, keep track of them, and it's tough. Yeah, you kind of just have to come back to those later on when you're hella strong.
I don't think I've perfect. I think I've perfect one of those. I've done all of them that I could do in the Grasslands and Junon.
Yeah,
and I perfect one of them because I can usually pressure an enemy and I can sometimes stagger them, but preventing them from poisoning you or preventing them from lifting
turning you into
a
toad or something.
No, I'm just not my Cloud. He's going in there. He's getting turned into a toad.
Yeah. I don't block ever. I don't know if how you guys do it.
I think that's how you get the stagger.
I've done a little bit better at blocking, and it does feel really good when you like parry something because you just get this like immune. It just says immune, and you can parry like some pretty heavy stuff that's doing like 500 damage or something, and if you time it right, it'll go from 500 damage to just immune, and that feels real good. But
Everybody's got Kiraga on my team, baby. We're ready. We are ready to take them hits.
It's I'm liking it though quite a bit. I'm interested. Like this little section, this is probably about 5 hours getting into Junon and doing everything there. There's been a lot of deviations. There's been like equal parts. Oh, look, remember this part from the original game, but also like equal parts. That is definitely not a character or a scene that happened in the original. What is going on here? Like it's a solid mix of both, and it's got me really intrigued because as I've gone along, I've kind of like been nudging Kayla like, hey, oh, this is, Rufus Shinra. This is where he, does this thing. Or, in the original.
Tries to think he's really cool by saying, like, who could it be? And he'll, like, say the name and, yeah, because you've played this before.
Yeah, it's great. No. It's fun. But then I'll be wrong sometimes because it's just...
they change it up on you.
Change it up. Like, who the hell's Glenn,
Yeah.
Old Troy Baker.
Yeah, listening to MinMax's pod about it, and then like they're just over the moon about every little thing because they love that first game, and I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. He's new, whatever. Okay, right on. So,
do you remember? So I'm sure they've broken it up into multiple parts, MinMax, right?
Oh yeah.
Where does the first part end?
Right where you're at.
Oh, awesome. Okay, good. I've been wanting to jump into that, and but I wanted to not be spoiled on anything. So cool. I'll push it a little further, and then I'll check out MinMax.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Ben Hansen over there. It's his favorite game of all time. So I get it. I like it well enough, and it's maybe it's in the bottom third of my top 100 of all time or 150 games of all time, but still I do, when I see a little Easter egg or something, it's like, all right, that's cool. The music and stuff, some of the music cues and that
music's
kind of
been good.
Yeah. Fun.
Terrific music. You're absolutely right. Music's fantastic.
But too loud. Have you had to mess with the mix at all? The voice and sound mix?
The battle mix is like, holy, it's like Dolby surround sound when I go, and I have to immediately turn. So I haven't tweaked anything yet, but I need to for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the voices, like the dialogue, is always drowned out by the music. Like whether it's in a battle or it's in a cutscene or something else, it's kind of weird. So I have been kind of messing with the sliders. They just have like a 10-point slider in the settings for each, like for dialogue, for sound effects, and for music. And I still haven't gotten it right, but maybe a little better. But it's weird. It's a weird sound mix.
I agree. I've been wanting to ask. Well, you guys always play in quality.
Yeah, I didn't change it. I don't know what the default is, but yeah,
you default to quality.
Okay.
I played a lot. Like my first 20 hours, I want to say I played in performance, which is the frame rate mode. And then everyone kept saying like, oh, it's it's just so ugly not in quality. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I changed it to quality, and I'm like, I was literally like mid Chocobo ride, and I've never gotten sick playing a game ever. And started getting like what I think people when they play VR, like motion kind of sick, damn. Like the amount of frames I lost on that Chocobo was noticeable for me and affected my health.
Wow. I can't say I've noticed anything performance-wise. The one thing I just noticed, and it's like kind of a nothing thing, but it was very odd. During the parade in Junon, which I just played, there's like a lot of pedestrians in the background and stuff, and there's these people like cheering in the background, and they're like jumping up and stuff, and the frame rate on just like a back section was like playing like Tears of the Kingdom and looking off into the distance. It was very Or no, more like Legends Arceus, like when you'd see a flying creature off in the distance.
And flying Gyarados is just moving at the speed of smell out there.
Yeah, that was basically what the back half of the crowd looked like. That was a little I noticed it right away, but other than that, no, riding the chocobos and battling and stuff, I can't say I've noticed, but it might be the fact that, like, I can't tell the different. People always say 30 frames, 60 frames, whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I like graphics. I'm still.
Yeah, I've gotten over that initial like tremor of nausea, but and have noticed like just the faces in cutscenes are unbelievable, and I'm glad I made the decision to switch.
Kayla,
it hasn't. I was worried it would affect my combat, but not really.
That would be terrible because it's so fast.
Yeah.
Kayla, you've turned to me a couple times and been like, "All right, Cloud's pretty cool."
Yeah.
Oh, really? Cloud. Okay.
I like Cloud.
Yeah.
I'm a Barrett. I like
Barrett. Oh yeah. Well, like Barrett.
I like.
Barrett just comes off the cusp of like, oh damn, I like Barrett. Cloud's grown on me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's been
Tifa. I found I have to not use her because she's just so much fun. Like that's the only character I'll use, and I like to spread the love. So I haven't used Tifa for a long time, and but now I have some really cool abilities, which I think all of the abilities have kind of been the same from Remake. I've noticed, like you're just unlocking the same kind of stuff, which is kind of a bummer, but it's also like, ooh, I remember this one. This is really good with Tifa. Okay.
Yeah, they haven't really explained why some of your stuff carried over and some kind of didn't, right?
Mako poisoning.
Well, right. You're right. They haven't explained it yet for me, right? Yeah, that's what it is. The chapter 15, they'll really get into it. Yeah, so that was your Final Fantasy VII minute. Has there been anything else? We're keeping up with Shogun. You haven't jumped into Shogun, have you, Mike?
Maybe 30 minutes of it.
Okay.
It was a tough hang for me at first, so I kind of bounced off. I plan on going back, but I have started 3 Body Problem.
Okay, yeah.
On Netflix, based on a famous series of science fiction novels, I think from the 90s. And it's just kind of, it throws a lot at you at first. So it's like, okay, scientists are committing suicide. Like, there's like a pandemic of it happening. Wow. And then it turns out that like something has happened where the laws of physics don't make sense anymore. Like Hadron Collider or whatever, like all of the big science machines around the world just don't work anymore. Like, they can't figure it out. And then there's like flashback stuff to like to China and projects that they're working on to communicate with like America, China, and Russia all have programs sending messages out to outer space. But one of the scientists from China figures out a way to amplify that, and it seems like that's the cause, and then the effects are what's happening now, kind of thing. And it's really interesting, and I just kind of want to know what's going on. It's like I gotta see what happens with that little part. It's got its hooks in me.
Are those like hour-long episodes?
I think so. I think it's all on Netflix, of course, at the moment. Not a lot of huge stars in it. Benedict Wong is in it. I think one of the characters is is from The Boys.
Oh, okay.
I only watched the first season. She doesn't speak at all. Very little, and I think.
Oh, Kamiko, I think is her name.
Yeah. I think she's in it. And it's just like a cool like mystery box show right now, and I'm really into it.
Oh, you forgot about John Bradley, the portly guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. You're right. I don't know his name, so I didn't want to go like, Sam Tully was his
I think
name,
you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. See, you know his real name. Oh, good stuff.
But this is from those showrunners.
There's
from
another
Thrones.
person from Game of Thrones in there too, like the
Benioff and Weiss, I believe.
Benioff and Weiss, yeah. Liam Cunningham, I think, is maybe who you're talking about, Kayla. Davos, is he?
Yeah,
he comes up in the cast list at least. Maybe
There's some more Thrones cameos as well.
Okay.
But yes, the Onion Knight as well. Yeah, is in there. If it doesn't have a Thrones feel, it has more of a kind of a Lost feel to me right now. So
yeah, I want to check that one out. I didn't know what your interest level was on that one, Kayla. Is that if that'll be
I didn't know anything about it. I've just seen the name.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was about.
I guess we didn't really talk about it much here.
And there's also like this virtual reality game aspect to it that's been introduced, and it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but I'm definitely going to finish. I think.
Yeah. I guess I have a similar thing that I just finished. Constellation, the Apple show. Talked about that a little bit when it was coming out. This is Noomi Rapace is the main character. She goes up into space, and an accident happens. And when she gets back to Earth, everything is slightly different than she remembers, and it's essentially a parallel universe type story. Like through the events, and I've seen now all 8 episodes. The 8th episode was the finale. I went into it not knowing it was the finale, and it ended on quite the cliffhanger. I hope the show comes back. But it's real roller coaster as far as like quality. Some of the episodes, I'm like, they're trying to confuse you. I think that's the idea. It's some heady concepts, quantum physics, different realities, all this stuff. But there's a really cool like conspiracy at the back of it all, of like the governments of the world seem to know that when people go up into space, something happens. Like they don't I don't know if they know that about alternate realities, or but they're basically saying that like 1 in every 3 astronauts or something will go crazy in their lifetime or something. And it's essentially like, what is the cover up? Is it that they're covering up insanity? Is this real? Is this alternate reality stuff like real?
Is it aliens?
Right. Like what is it? There's just really interesting stuff. Jonathan Banks from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. What's his the old like hitman guy? I forget his name in like Breaking Bad.
Oh, Mike, right?
Yeah, Mike. He's like a main character in this as well.
I like him.
Yeah, and he actually plays 2 characters in this as well. So there's a lot of like back and forth between like, who's real, who's not. Is this insanity? Is it horror? Is it there's a lot of elements. It kept me going for those 8 episodes. I wish it was like a 10 episode series instead of just like ending on a cliffhanger, because I don't know if anyone
gotta leave you wanting more.
Yeah, I'm just afraid no one watched it, and we'll just never get the answers because it'll get canceled.
It's an Apple show, right?
It's an Apple show, yeah.
They like just feed the machine on that. Like they don't care; they just want the content. So I think you'll get season 2, no matter what the ratings are.
Yeah, I hope so, because it was worth watching.
At least the season 2, I hope.
Yeah, it's cool. I've been getting more and more into just like, I don't know, space is cool. And then like tinging space stories with like horror or science fiction-y type stuff. That's always just fun. So yeah, Constellation on Apple.
Apple does a lot of like limited series too, so I doubt they have plans to make it like many seasons.
I hope not. I mean, I feel like it's a small enough. I mean, it's both a large story, but also just it's really about this one woman astronaut who's trying to get back to her universe in a sense, or trying to figure out if she's insane. Either or. So
Right.
like, I feel like it could.
She's going through all of this. Yeah.
Right. It could get figured out in like 2 seasons. There's a great her daughter Alice in it is I don't know the actor's name, but child actor, just she's phenomenal because all of these characters have to like act as themselves and also themselves in a slightly different alternate reality. So as an example, in one reality the little girl knows Swedish and in the other she doesn't. So like how that manifests itself is really cool, and it's done really well by this child actor. So yeah.
It gives you real it's a video game.
Oh, Returnal. It very much feels like Returnal because like that's a story of like a mother trying to get back to her daughter after being in space and kind of alternate realities and stuff. It's kind of the same story in a lot of ways. So, yeah, cool. But yeah, Constellation, Apple TV. I really enjoyed it, but I was a little like disappointed that was it.
That it ended.
Yeah. Anything else before we get into April?
We watched Love Lies Bleeding.
I think we talked about that on the last pod.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yep. It was great.
Yep.
Check
Okay.
it out, guys. Love Lies Bleeding.
I was just trying to think of that. Okay, that is probably the most recent thing we saw then.
Yeah, definitely. April. Let's get into it. Little bit of a lighter month, and we kind of need one with all the stuff that has already come out in the first kind of quarter of the year. Apparently
some big ones though.
Yes, yeah. One maybe the thing I'm most excited for the entire year. We'll see. Starting off April on the 4th, coming to Netflix, we have Ripley, which is a Andrew Scott. Recently, we saw in what was that movie, Kayla?
All of Us Strangers.
All of Us Strangers. Great performance in that. This is the hot priest from Fleabag. He's playing Thomas Ripley of the talented Mr. Ripley fame. So it's based on the novel from I think 1955 that the movie Talented Mr. Ripley is based on, and he's just a con man, grifter, possibly murderer character, but it's black and white. It looks really, really cool, and I might have season tickets for Andrew Scott at this point. He's pretty cool.
I like him a lot. I got season tickets.
Yeah.
This does just set such a like mystery noir vibe. It's very interesting.
Have you ever seen Talented Mr. Ripley, Mike?
Oh yeah, when Rewatchables did it, I was like, okay, I need to see that movie now, and then watch the movie, immediately listen to the pod afterwards, and really enjoyed both. And I have learned that this show is about that IP and forgotten it multiple times. So every time I see it, I'm like, I get excited, and I'm like, there's a Ripley show from Alien.
Yeah.
But then it's not, and then I get excited again because I learned that it's another thing I like. So that's just my monkey brain.
Good. So it's not just me. It's not just me every time I see it thinking, oh, an Ellen Ripley show. Hell yeah.
And it's so confusing because there is an Alien show coming out and there's a new Alien movie. And it's like, wait, what is this? That? What is this? This looks dope. I also like Andrew Scott. And we're getting Dakota Fanning is kind of the Gwyneth Paltrow role.
It seems like it.
Because it does seem like Jude Law's character, Dickie, is involved. And it looks like just another retelling of that movie. And I'm into that for sure.
I see John Malkovich in the cast list as well. I don't know who he plays, but...
he should just be... Teddy KGB somehow from Rounders somehow, please.
Timeless, a timeless
just
character
in Western Europe somehow, like you know.
Yeah, and it's a limited series too, which is nice. I mean that I don't think that novel is like that long or anything else where you need to have multiple seasons or anything. So yeah, get in, get out, tell a cool story. Yeah, Dakota Fanning's awesome too, so I'm excited to see her. One of the rare, like child stars who just continues to actually work
Still
and
around,
thrive.
yeah.
Like it's good to see.
Yeah, she avoided Nickelodeon. Jeez.
Good on her, right? So that's Ripley coming to Netflix April 4th. Not Ellen Ripley, so everyone knows, but she's still on the bracket of nonsense. Next day, we get Monkey Man coming to theaters. This is Dev Patel written, directed, and starring in Monkey Man. His take on a...
Just trying, man.
Dude's awesome. I mean, Green Knight for me was... I don't know. I'm still in the middle on it a little bit, but he's
Watch
great.
It again.
I thought he was really, really good, and after seeing even just the trailer for Monkey Man, I'm like, that should be Bond. Come on, Dev needs to be James Bond. But yeah, this is his take on a John Wick or Kung Fu movie. I guess it's loosely based on some sort of proverb from a story that I'm not familiar with, but of the white, I think it's the white monkey who is an avenging kind of character. And that's what it seems like. It seems like a revenge
in the trailer.
Right, yeah. It's like a revenge tale. He's gonna don this moniker.
Avenge his mother, right?
I think so. I think maybe so. Yeah. And it just looks brutal. It looks like they've taken all of those cues from recent kind of action movies and all that great choreography and yeah, I want more Dev. So this looks cool.
It has a really cool look to it. It looks like, I don't know if you guys seen The Protector, I think those are called. Kung Fu movies, stuff like that. Just that grimy kind of underworld, kicking everyone's ass, seedy stuff. And looks great. He looks great. He said how many injuries he's fucking had, broken ribs and concussions and things, because he's doing this shit in the movie. And I got tickets for him. I love Green Knight. Love him in Green Knight. Everything I've seen him in since. And yeah, shame he's not Bond. But we watched some of Bullet Train last night, and I don't know. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson, right? Yeah. I like him. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
He's got big shoes to fill. Big Dev-sized shoes to fill.
Daniel Craig's got big enough shoes, my man.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Craig's great.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Dreams are not a factor.
Monkey Man coming to theaters April 5th. Same day, we're getting the first Omen. I put this on. That's coming to theaters as well. I put this on here strictly because there's a super cool trailer that played in front of Love Lies Bleeding. It's not the second trailer that I watched, which I found quite mediocre, but the first trailer is played in reverse. It's only a minute-long trailer, and it's cool. I
should have watched that one.
Yeah.
I watched the other one.
There's a moment in this one that had the background, the backwards walking stuff.
Yeah, and it seems like that might be a theme or something. I don't know if there's time travel or reversing time or anything in this movie. But yeah, I was real disappointed in seeing the most recent trailer because it just seemed like okay, this is your standard possession devil kind of movie. I will say that Nell Tiger Free, the actor who plays the main character, who seems to maybe be trying to save a girl from having the baby, the mark of the beast and all that. I don't know. She seems to be playing a nun or something. She was the main character in the show Servant. I talked about a decent amount on this pod, and she plays the Antichrist in that, so she's definitely being typecast a little bit, but she was really good at it. She was also in Game of Thrones. She was one of the Lannister kids or whatever for an episode. But as far as just a freak out scream queen kind of vibe, really, really good in Servant. So she's got that going for her as far as the Omen stuff.
A lot of, because this is like a convent kind of thing as well. We have Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney out right now. Big year for the nuns.
And last year it was the Pope's Exorcist, right? Like that was the big one. So yeah, I think it's
we're just getting like the clergy cinematic universe here.
They need a win, right? Like they need a real win. The old Catholic Church, right?
Maybe Bishop from X-Men 97 is really a deep fake.
Whoa. Holy smokes. Wow.
I think we cracked it. I think we did.
So the first Omen, watch it in reverse on April 5th, coming to theaters. April 12th, we've got coming to Prime, Fallout. This has been in the works for a while. It was one of those projects that was announced like years ago. Oh, they're going to make a Fallout show. And for a long time, it was like, oh, video game stuff doesn't work. But it's been working lately.
They cracked it.
Yeah, they've cracked it. Yeah, good call. And I'm excited for this. It's Walton Goggins. Looks really cool. And the Fallout universe is so interesting. You can do so much with it because it's all one big experiment and one big, open world to explore. So I think it's the perfect universe to go into to make a Western. It seems like this is maybe like a Western type story. I'm excited. I think it looks really, really cool. That's coming to Prime. If I didn't say that already.
I hope they do just kind of our character who was played a main character by Ella Purnell, who I really like in Yellow Jackets.
Right.
I hope she has like, okay, I'm trying to get to this town, this city. And the game always leads itself to whatever direction you go in, you're going to find something weird and, or something scary or just something interesting in general. And every episode can be like a, X-Files type, mystery of the week. But also you're kind of getting more and more breadcrumbs towards the overall, picture of it all.
Sounds like a good equation to me.
Yeah, I it looks really good. I think they can really nail the vibe of Fallout, which is, this kooky 50s tech mixed with, advanced tech, and you can have a dark story in this pocket, but you can also have a really funny and weird story here, and it looks like it's going to be a cool mix of that because you get like the Brotherhood stuff, which might be like the serious, like hoorah, action stuff. Walton Goggins seemed like he's just like a noseless ghoul sheriff. I'm sure he's going to be full ham in that role. And I think the CG looks good. You see a lot of the cool, like, big, like the giant, I forget what they're called, but the grizzly bears and the radiation. Yeah, they have a weird name.
Yeah, what are they called? And, not rad roaches, because that's a different thing, but
well, I'm sure we're gonna get plenty of that, bloat flies and death claws and all that stuff. And I'm excited. All of the episodes are coming out at once,
yes.
Which is exciting. And probably gonna just gobble that up. The kids are even excited for it, but I'm not sure that I can let them watch that.
Yeah, I wonder how violent it's probably going to be pretty violent. Yeah. It's set in Los Angeles too, which is like a different, because I think it takes place. I was just looking it up right now. In some interview, it was definitely said like what time frame it takes place on, and I think it's like slightly after the events of Fallout 3, I think is what I remember, but it's in Los Angeles, so it's like a little, away
the
from
opposite go, yeah. Fallout 3 is in DC.
Yeah, and then you had Vegas and stuff, so there's, I guess, chance to interact with some of the stories occurring elsewhere in the world and stuff, because it's like canonical as well. To the rest of the Fallout universe. So
And it's just cool to see all the icon, just the vault tech of it all, and Vault Boy and Pit Boys and super sledges and all of these things.
Helper guy?
Mr.
Like Codsworths and things, Mr. Gutsy's around and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
It looks like it has the budget it needs, like you said. The CGI is good looking, so costumes look great. So Fallout. That's gonna be great. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun, and the binge drop of it all is nice because that's not always the case on like Prime, but dropping it all.
But the main event of the month.
April 12th is actually quite a bit now that I see it, but Civil War is coming to theaters, guys. From our buddy. This one, Alex Garland, yes. This every time I've seen this trailer now, I've seen a couple versions of this trailer in theaters, on my phone, on television. Every single time, it just like I get anxiety because this just feels like, man, this is too real. I don't know. This is weird. And it makes me wonder, like all of the war movies I've ever seen and stuff, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, like everything, stuff set in the Middle East, etc. Like now I'm like, fuck, is that what like all of these are we the baddies? Is that what all these people are feeling constantly when I'm watching Zero Dark 30 or something and like, someone in the Middle East is watching that? Are they getting that
absolutely
intense anxiety that I'm feeling? And it's like, fuck. It's just like a multi-layered like mind fuck right now that's going on every time I watch this, and it might be a tough movie to watch. I don't know.
The hype for it out of South by Southwest was like very apparent. Like people really dug it. They said, see it in IMAX kind of thing. I'm excited to see Garland getting his Ridley Scott bag for like some Black Hawk Down shit going on in this motherfucker. Like, I'm excited. And then it seems like it's going to have this great bombast, but also the smaller, off-kilter, off-putting kind of stuff, like with the Jesse Plemons character. And I don't know. I want to see everything Garland does. I mean, I am a men fender, by the way. I will defend men till the cows come home. Okay, I will do it.
What did we just see? That's right. I won't spoil it. Never mind.
There's a men fender moment in Love Lies Bleeding.
Oh, she spoiled it. She spoiled it. Okay, all right.
Teased it.
She teased it.
I think I even said that when we talked.
You might have, but
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm really interested or scared to see the talk around Civil War. Alex Garland, of course, is an Englishman, making a Civil War, a second Civil War in America movie. So that'll be a talking point, I'm sure. And just the politics of it all could get kind of ugly. But it just looks Jesse Plemons, Kirsten Dunst. Old dude from that didn't get into Dune 2. Poor guy from Dune 1.
Nick Offerman, but
Nick Offerman. That's
not what you're talking about,
man. I wish Nick Offerman was in Dune. Civil War looks great. Already locking that in as my most excited for April, so no one else can take it. Can't take it.
Okay. That's okay.
Because you guys want to take Sasquatch Sunset. Tough to say. I just realized. Coming also April 12th to a limited release to theaters. This is the Jesse Eisenberg, Riley Keough Sasquatch movie that looks unhinged. Looks really weird. It follows a family of Sasquatch living in, I believe, modern times, in just like hanging out in the forest and doing wild shit. Looks like they're gonna get high. Looks like they're gonna make some love and yeah.
Yep.
I think it literally says like full nudity in the trailer.
I think it does.
I think just because I think that's a joke. Like,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
always nude. So, yeah.
Right.
Let's see. What do you think of this one?
I don't know. There's some pull quotes during the trailer, like a unicorn of a movie, and something that has to be seen. I'm like, does it? Does it need to be seen? I don't know. It just seemed like, okay, it's going to be following these beings that cannot speak, and they're just going to be acting, doing Clan of the Cave Bear, type stuff, Quest for Fire type film, maybe. I got kind of like a Swiss Army Man kind of feel to it as well.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, I like Eisenberg. I like Riley Keough, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I could take or leave this one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Seems very weird.
Yeah, just for the sake of it. I don't know.
It probably makes for a great double feature with Civil War, I imagine. Because no.
God, if you'd probably need a come down after walking out of Civil War, and that might be it.
The real way. The real.
You'd have to take a trip to the car for hit a little pen or something.
I think so. I think you're right.
And you can do that while celebrating Nick Hexum's birthday as well.
There you go. Same day.
Holy shit.
April 12th.
Nice. Oh, 3/11 on 4/14 though. April 14th, The Sympathizer coming to Max. This is the Robert Downey Jr. Spy. This is based on a novel from like 2015, I believe, of the same name, The Sympathizer. Takes place around the either late stages or just after the Vietnam War. Robert Downey Jr. looks like he's going for it in this one. He's the handler of a Vietnamese man who is probably a double or even triple agent of some kind. Whether he's working for the...
I think he just likes spying. I think he just
having fun spying. Yeah. It might be. Once you're in the game, how do you know to get out? But Robert Downey Jr. seems to be like in a crazy amount of different like prosthetics and different costumes and stuff. It seems like it's going to kind of have both this lighthearted, weird, off-kilter handler character of Robert Downey Jr. coupled with this like pretty intense like spy thriller double agent stuff, and it just looks really interesting at the end of the day.
Man, a lot of contacts for Downey in this. Guy needs to lay off the spice. Jeez. Man. That's really, it's just like going to be very Metal Gear, it seems. Like, who can you trust type thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't trust Robert Downey Jr. So that's my advice for the main character. And I mean, it's got HBO attached to it, so it has that pedigree for me, and definitely want to check it out.
It looks like Sandra Oh might be the main character's like mother or mother figure as well. So she's always consistently good. Just funny. Seems really interesting. I think this is another limited series as well. Love a good limited series. Get in, get out. Figure that out, Constellation, please. Sympathizer coming to Max April 14th. April 16th, Harold Halibut. A game that's over a decade in the making. It's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. This is a stop-motion video game, similar like kind of claymation to what's the English
Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit, yeah. Like, so if you're picturing Wallace and Gromit, you're like halfway there. Essentially, seems to be set underwater in some kind of like sea lab type situation, and you're Harold, and it looks like it's a narrative type adventure puzzle type game. But I mean, it's something to behold, even if you're never gonna play this game. Check out some of the footage on it and the trailers, because it's stop motion, it's claymation, but it's a video game. You're like fully able to control, and these environments are all interacting and stuff. And it looks like it's got a trippy ass, maybe like underwater aliens type story as well. This one's
like a
just
Shape of Water story, I think.
Maybe, yeah, could be. Yeah, Harold Halibut, Mike. What do you think?
Does Guillermo del Toro have anything to do with this? It feels kind of Guillermo.
Shape of Water, very, very inspired. I remember Ryan showed us this trailer maybe like a year ago.
Yeah.
And just the look immediately kind of knocks you off your feet. And yeah, you could definitely tell it's a labor of love, that they've, painstakingly done every different kind of animation. And it's kind of a style of game where it seems like you can, have different options, do things different ways. And it seemed like a lot of work went into this. I know, I think it was at GDC recently. I know Janet Garcia from Pen and Pixels did not have a great time with it. No. Even though, but she did say, like, kind of what we're saying, like, it is very, visually interesting and everything. I don't know if the game part of it is all there, but for sure, definitely check out a trailer just to see this thing. It is, it's impressive.
Harold Halibut coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on April 16th. Under the Bridge coming to Hulu April 17th. So this
what is this?
What is this? Yeah, it gives me a lot of Mayor of Easttown type vibes. Yeah. Lily Gladstone is kind of tagged in for what am I? I'm just blanking on our mayor.
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Yeah, for Kate Winslet. Seems like, small town cop investigating disappearance, possible.
Eric, did you just get back from outer space? Are you what? You're not remembering anything today.
Yeah, it's weird. Wasn't my computer on this side of the?
I think so.
Before? What the fuck?
Recite this podcast in Swedish right now.
Oh God. Oh yeah, so Under the Bridge coming to Hulu. Lily Gladstone, fresh off of her some might say robbed performance at the Oscars there. I'm really excited to see. I thought her performance in blanking on the name of everything. Reservation Dogs, yes, but her Oscar-nominated performance, Killers of the Flower Moon, exactly. I need more coffee, I think.
Yeah, you do.
I think so. But I feel like her character in Reservation Dogs and Killers of the Flower Moon are kind of very similar. They're very, like, stoic, kind of very quiet performances, wise, very much. And I want to see, this seems like she'll, be in more action, let's just say, like a hard-boiled detective kind of thing. And I'm interested to see that. Like, I feel like she's probably got the range, and I want to see what that looks like. This just looks cool, though.
Yeah, Lily teaming up with Riley Keough in this one, big month for her. Yeah. Definitely had Mare vibes. We just had Night Country not too long ago. Definitely reminded me of that. Kind of burned by Night Country towards the end, so I hope this one can kind of fill in the gaps that show left me with. Another show where I saw the title of it and I'm like, did Hulu make like a Red Hot Chili Pepper fucking true story bullshit? Like, do we need that? And why did you put this in here, Eric? But this looks interesting. It's it's kind of these girls in this. Is it supposed to be like Washington kind of area?
Like based off of true events, right?
I think so.
Every show says that. But anyway, it's just these girls keep coming up missing. They're considered big girls because they're disposable like the lighters. And Lily Gladstone and Riley Keough is writing a book about this. Mm-hmm. So she is not an officer, but she's like, I can get people to talk more than you can because, I'm writing a book. And so I think it's going to be interesting, that kind of dynamic between, journalist, author, or whatever, and cop trying to figure this mystery out.
Scream. They're giving me a Scream shout out.
Yeah.
What Corny Cox and
I guess
Dewey.
that's true.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. It looks like it was filmed in Canada, and that's, everything is, but that's the vibe I got. Like, it might be like a Canadian town or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't exactly know where it's set. They mention an island at one point, like it's maybe like more of an isolated kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, but that could easily be like Washington or something. It's I feel like it's that Pacific Northwest kind of vibe, very much so.
Yeah.
It just looks cool. Love a good like crime thriller like that, and I want to see Lily Cook. So Under the Bridge coming April 17th to Hulu. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare coming to theaters in April 19th. Henry Cavill, give him something, guys. Let's come on. He needs a win, right?
Man,
he's
just throwing stuff at the wall.
He is.
To me. Like, how many like weird Britishy Guy Ritchie IP type things can he try to,
It
the
almost
man from
seems
Step
like
Uncle.
right.
I am
Like,
come on.
Oh man, the man from Step Uncle. That's gonna happen. That's fun. This is like also, if you've heard this before, based slightly on a true story as well. Definitely blown out of proportion, but this is there was actually a ministry of ungentlemanly warfare during World War II. It was like a British like kind of offshoot military branch for doing the dirty work, right? Of killing Nazis in not the nicest ways. So Henry Cavill has to get together a group of rough and tumble folks to kill the bad guys. I don't know. It's probably not Inglourious Bastards, but if it's like a fun, a fun ride a la like Inglourious Bastards.
It seemed like the final scene in Bastards, like the big scene, like it seemed like just that spread out through just just gunning down Nazis, so. But we have assembled a team,
after Zone of Interest, I'm down. I will just watch Henry Cavill shoot Nazis.
There you go. Yeah,
no problems.
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna send him the coordinates. In fact,
steal their fur coats.
Yeah.
That's really good. Guy Ritchie keeps trying. So does Henry Cavill. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare coming to theaters April 19th. This one was a little bit of a surprise for me. Had never heard of it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Wrath of the Mutants. Barely fit on the page here. This is coming to everything. Every console, both last gen and current and PC, Switch. April 23rd. This was a 2017 arcade game. Only in arcades, based on the 2012 Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. One of which I was mildly, I knew about a little bit, the Nickelodeon show, and the arcade game I have never seen or experienced. Love the classic.
Never heard of it.
Okay, good. I thought it was only me. This is by Raw Thrills, the original arcade games, which they're kind of the only game in town lately for new arcade cabinets. They make the bigger ones, the more kind of expensive ones, usually the ones where you
the Dave and Buster arcade experience that really only exists now.
So that's probably why I never played this one. Ooh. Did he have any insider knowledge on the arcade game?
No. He just let me know they're leaving for the Easter egg hunt. So
nice.
It'll be fun.
Nice.
But this looks like ass. Like so much ass.
Yeah, I said the same. I don't like the way it looks.
Coming off of Shredder's Revenge. What are you doing? That gorgeous best beat 'em up of all time kind of game, and you're gonna follow it try to follow that up with this. I know it's not the same teams in there, and all that, but I don't know. And of course, like it kind of has. It makes you think it's like, oh, it's Mutant Mayhem because it has mutant, but it's not. It's totally not. And I don't know. That TV show does not look good. This game doesn't look half as good as that ugly show does. And nah, no thanks. No thanks at all. Bebop is like skinny. Did you see that? Like, it's so weird. No, this is ass.
But it's got the original voice cast, including Seth Green, Mike.
Sean Astin. Yeah, there's some names there, but all right, go watch Robot Chicken and Lord of the Rings or something. Like, I don't. Or if you want to save time, 51st Dates. Let's do that instead. So
do it.
This reminds me of the Turtles in Time remake that got delisted. Like, I don't get this one while you can. Maybe I don't know if this is going to be available forever.
It is a $30 game, so it is that.
So if you're very curious about everything Turtles, maybe pick it up. But other than that, no. Play Shredder's Revenge.
True. Yeah. On both of on Game Pass and PS Plus at least it was at points. So I think you can get that.
Buy it. Just buy it.
True that. Yeah, it's got to be $10 now, right? At this point.
I think it's on sale a lot, but yeah.
Let's talk about good games, though, or potentially, I guess.
Are we?
Good. I think another Crab's Treasure is going to be good, Mike. April 25th, coming to Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Also a Game Pass game. This is a crab-based Souls-like. You're a little crabby guy.
Sure.
It's cutesy.
I think it looks cool. I like this.
The enemies looked interesting.
It was in the most recent Nintendo showcase, I think, is where where did I see it? I guess not, because it's not on... It's
been around for a while. It was supposed to come out last year.
Okay, yeah. I just think like a cutesy Souls-like set underwater where you play as a crab and you have to switch your shells, that's fun. I don't know. I guess there's no joy in your life anymore, Mike.
Nah, it just, I don't know. We're getting Erd Tree so soon.
True. Like,
I haven't vibed with any kind of non-FromSoft Souls type game. This has a very PS3 era platformer kind of look to it. Just doesn't vibe. None of it screams like I have to play this at all to me.
All right, guys. Mike hates the ocean. That's what he said.
I mean, there's a lot of ocean stuff going on. We had Dave the Diver, Dredge, that endless ocean game coming out. Enough. Enough of it.
That's true. Under the bridge, Halibut. There's probably water there. Yeah, Harold Halibut. You're right. I guess too much water. Good thing it's all evaporating.
Good. Yes.
Another Crab's Treasure coming to Xbox Series.
I want to talk about something that's no water, and that's Sandland.
Very good. Sandland coming the next day to PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series, and PC. So this is based on the anime and manga, right? Both?
Manga and soon to be anime.
Got it. Okay. By Akira Toriyama, rest in peace. Very much, if you know his art style, you will feel right at home in Sandland.
Part of it, and I think you'll feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, Kayla was remarking that the characters and the mechs and all of the vehicles and stuff are very much that Toriyama art, but the backgrounds seem to be something else.
I don't like it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so that she wasn't really vibing with that. Did you feel that from the trailer?
I was just kind of focused on how good I thought the characters and the mechs and everything looked compared to even that first trailer when it debuted. I feel like this game just looks better to me. I don't know, they put some more polish on it or what, but I'm kind of sold on it. I don't know. Maybe it is something to do with Toriyama's passing recently, and I just think it looks so cool. Like, I don't know even really what the gameplay is going to be. You're playing as like this kid who like a tank girl-esque, like just I can build anything, or maybe I don't even know if you're building these things that you're driving or if you're stealing them or, finding them, blah, blah, blah. But, man, I just kind of dope. There's been a latest trailer now introducing like different biomes and, all the generals you'll be fighting. And it's like, oh, this just seems like Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball. And, it tugs at my heartstrings. I think I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I think there's some capsule stuff. I think that there is like about a 9-minute or so, 9.5-minute breakdown of the gameplay that I think it was IGN did, I want to say. You can get it on YouTube. So if you do want to kind of, they went pretty deep into like what the minute-to-minute gameplay is like, and it's basically all vehicle-based, and there's a lot of customization. There's a lot of options for you in terms of like what vehicle you want to use, how you want to customize it for the given area or the given battle and that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
I couldn't get into Armored Core last year, so maybe this one will be my that game.
Yeah, I think this one might be a little easier and a little less brutal, probably. But yeah, Sandland, I like the art a lot. That Toriyama art's cool. It's great to all of, from Dragon Ball. You always had weird, interesting, like cyberpunk kind of contraptions that characters were always riding on and stuff. But to be able to use them and customize them and have them be at the forefront of a game seems pretty cool. I think this one will be huge, probably, with Toriyama passing and everything else.
Yeah.
As long as reviews are like even middle of the road, I think there's going to be an outpouring of like people being interested in this one.
I think there's going to be a huge rush to just bank on his pass, and that's like kind of a weird dark side of that. But yeah, we have this. There's a new Dragon Ball that Daima show coming out soon. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Toriyama stuff. Hopefully, Chrono Trigger related, maybe someday.
That'd be good. That's the truth. Yeah, that's how we really want to memorialize him, right? Give us that Chrono Trigger remake.
Ooh, man.
So that's Sandland coming to April 26th. Stellar Blade, PS5 only on this one, exclusive on the 26th as well. All the realistic jiggle physics that you asked for, Mike, on this one.
Yeah, that's some real Dead or Alive beach volleyball action going on in this game. I've seen people liken it to Lies of P mixed with now I'm turning in Eric. No. The game everyone loved with that robot lady character to be
Nier Automata, right?
Nier Automata, yes, thank you. And it certainly has that style. All of the UI looks very Nier, and I don't know, it seems kind of neat. It's got a lot of style, a lot of flash, very parry heavy game, it seems.
Korean developed. I think that's like a big they've been kind of really touting that because not a lot of Korean developed games, especially of this variety as well. The character model is modeled off a fairly well-known Korean model, apparently. I don't have her name in front of me, but very, very good-looking lady. But Kayla, when we were watching the trailer, remarking at the really cool like enemy design. The monsters looked really awesome. I feel like that was what did you say? Did you say like? Did you liken it to Dark Souls? I forget exactly what your comment was.
Me?
Yeah. When we were watching that.
I think I can't get anything but the word supple out of my mind, so I
oh gosh. A lot of I remember the trailer I think it was at a Sony event lately. A lot of ass shots in that, right?
Their booby bounce design is very good.
Wow.
Sure. Oh yeah.
That's really good. Supple.
But the monsters are cool too. The monsters, yes.
Supple monsters.
There's stuff bounces too. Yeah,
they were not. They were very
worry.
different. It was like almost like a very different character design.
Yeah, it seems to be very like space or sci-fi, like alien type enemies that you're facing. And I thought the design on those were really cool. If you can, just peer around, the supple nature of the game. I think.
Hard to do that.
Yes,
hard to do that.
Supple Blade, Stellar Blade,
Distracting.
Coming to PlayStation 5 April 26th. Challengers also that same day coming to theaters. Finally, I don't know with this movie. This is the Zendaya led thriller about a tennis coach who's in a throuple. I think that's the basic.
The tennis star.
Tennis star, yes. Well, it's
Maybe
tennis
a
star,
former star.
Yeah, she injures herself and becomes the coach, I think. Other than Zendaya being like the most important person in the world, probably at this point, I don't know with this one. What do you think of this one? This one's been coming out for like a year, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, it got pushed because of the strike. Luca Guadagnino joint, Bones and All, shout out. I don't know. I just have a hard time feeling like, I don't know. It's just a me problem. Everyone loves Zendaya.
Yeah.
I don't find her like to be like, like a breathtaking individual, or a person that I would be in a throuple with. Yes. So I don't know. I'm still interested in just the whole, like, her manipulating these two dudes to do whatever she wants kind of thing. Or, do they do that? Can they pull the rug out from under her somehow or something like that? I don't know. Kayla, what do you think of this one?
I'm not very interested.
No.
What do you feel about Zendaya, though? I guess I've never really picked your brain on her just as an actor.
She's pretty mid to me. I don't find her like outstanding. I mean, I enjoy it. I'm like, oh yeah, Zendaya, that's fun. As much as
to me, she's always been like kind of frumpy characters. Like in Spider-Man, MJ is just kind of like a tomboy, wearing hoodies and sweaters and blah, blah, blah. She's, one of the Fremen in Dune, like a lot of just, just tomboy aesthetics as well. Euphoria, she's like always just kind of like every clip I've seen of that show is just her like sweating, like detoxing or something.
In a lot of ways, she's kind of the least kind of interesting character in Euphoria, a show that I love, but yeah.
But and then you see her; she's the most glamorous, on red carpets and things like that. And
her style matters very much.
Sure. Yes, we'll see if she's like, man, I just want to do a movie where I could be sexy. So maybe she can turn me around on how I feel about her. But I don't know. Interesting choice. I don't know that I've seen the two male leads in anything.
They didn't look familiar.
I think that kind of throws me off too. If they could have got at least one recognizable person, because then like I don't care who wins this girl or who can't or what kind of. Awesome. I don't even know if that's what the movie wants you to think. It's not supposed to be like a rom-com situation, I don't think, but I don't know.
I'd probably like it more if it were.
Right. I don't know. Luca's always kind of, maybe the two just eat her. They just eat bones and all. That's the twist.
Phrasing, but yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be more of that too, but I meant more in the cannibal sense.
Right. I guess that's what really throws me off is like I've seen two Luca Guadagnino films at this point. I've seen his remake of Suspiria and I've seen Bones and All. I enjoyed both of them, but one is about a witch cult ballerina, like fucking mind trip, Suspiria, and then Bones and All is about a road film about cannibals and stuff like that. Those are like really unique, like intriguing concepts. And then this one, Like, what's the point here? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would make for the same type of drama as those films. So I don't know.
If this is more of a call Me by Your Name type of Luca movie, I'm in for that. That was more like there's no like weird, horror vibes to that. It is like just a young boy, finding love in the summer, So he's definitely got the chops for that stuff too. I don't know. Just the talent in this one is throwing me off, I think.
We'll see. Could be the biggest movie of the year also. Like we should say that because Zendaya pulls people in. I think she's a big part of like Dune 2's success. As much as I love that movie, like Zendaya has an insane like fandom at this point. She's one of the most important like stars that we have right now.
Great poster for the movie because it's just Zendaya's face with these sunglasses kind of tilted down, and it's the two each of the men tennis players is in each lens of the
reminiscent. It makes me feel like I'm at Blockbuster looking at posters again.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So
that's cool. So that's Challengers coming to theaters April 26th, and finally, Knuck If You Buck, Kayla. Knuckles coming to Paramount Plus.
They better use that song.
They do in the trailer.
A steel drum version, like
someone needs to get that in there. There's still 26 days, guys, to get this in. Knuckles, the spin-off series. I think it's 6. I think it said it's like 6-part limited series coming to Paramount Plus on April 26th. Have you seen the Sonic movies at this point, Mike?
Yeah. So. Kids love them.
Yeah.
We saw Sonic 2 when it as soon as it came out.
And they're good, right? Like I've heard that they're surprisingly pretty good.
I think they're good. Yeah, like the Marsden Sonic stuff is funny. Jim Carrey's hamming it up. You could tell like he really just enjoys being Robotnik, I think. And there's just like a lot of cool fan servicey stuff, like introducing Tails and Knuckles. There was a spoilers for Sonic 2, but the stinger at the end of that was Shadow the Hedgehog is going to be introduced. So yeah, I don't know. There's a really cool bit in the second one where Robotnik is trapped on an alien planet, and he has devised like this Rube Goldberg type machine to just make him mushroom. Like all the planet is just mushrooms. That's the only thing that grows there. So it's like this machine that like turns mushrooms into like water or something, and he hates it. And he's just. But
it's a dig at the Mario movie, right? That's what they're going
kind of. I kind of felt a hint of that too, Mushroom Kingdom. But yeah, the kids are jazzed for this one. Knuckles is just Idris Elba's doing a really cool kind of. But I'm turning Eric again, Batista from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, yeah.
Type of character where it's just all brawn and strength and not knowing any subtlety at all in our Western ways, and some kind of creature from his past or something, I think, is trying to fight him. I don't know. None of that stuff really matters. But.
It seems like the bad guy is like an underling or like a scientist who studied maybe under Robotnik, and it's played by the Hound, Rory McCain.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet. So he's doing his best like Robotnik impression, and he's got like 2 henchmen that like really are Turks coded, like from Final Fantasy.
Cool.
Yeah,
very cool. I think we're going to be seeing like there's characters in like the more Dreamcast era Sonic games of like these big mech looking enemies. I think we're going to be introduced to more of that stuff. Yes.
Yeah, I think we need to check out those Sonic movies, Kayla. I'm interested.
They're fun.
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
It's so funny that like Marsden was like in Hop, that Easter movie, and then just like where he's like with the Easter Bunny, and he just like did a string of movies where he's only talking to like himself in a green screen. It just makes me think like Marsden's kind of crazy.
Playing Cyclops for 3 movies will do that to you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So Knuckles rounds out April, coming to Paramount Plus in April 26th. Like I said, a little bit of a lighter month, but Civil War is just so exciting on that. But there's some good stuff. So I already picked Civil War. That's my pick for this month.
You can have it.
What do you not right people pick?
You can go next, Kayla, if you'd like.
I'll take Fallout.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Same day.
Yeah.
That's actually the double feature, probably. You watch Civil War, and then Fallout's kind of the sequel to it, right?
Here's what happens.
Yeah.
And that's the same day as the new the pre-release for the new Magic set. So I don't know if I can see Civil War that day. Maybe I can sneak it in there.
That's the cowboy one, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Thunder Junction. Coming out.
The cowboy.
I mean, really, the biggest news we didn't talk about is Cheech and Chong is coming to Call of Duty on 420. So,
speaking of Call of Duty, I have jumped back into Warzone a little bit, and I cannot tell you how many times I've died to Snoop Dogg because it's at least half a dozen times that I've been shot by Snoop Dogg.
You hate to see it. I kind of want to lean Ripley, but I'm going to pick a game. I'm going to go Sandland. I think that looks totally up my alley for sure.
Good call. Civil War, Fallout, and Sandland.
Boom, hit all 3.
Yeah, those are the picks. Yeah, that's everything. That's everything we cover, guys. And that's April. And that is also episode 164 of The Machine of Nonsense. We went over everything coming to screens in April 2024. We also had a good half-hour talk about Final Fantasy VII, which I'm going to go and play right now, folks.
Sweet.
Easter Bunny be damned. So
I think Kayla's going to be playing mostly in this next part.
Oh, you're right. The true queen of Queen's Blood was what they call her. All right, we are getting out of here. April 2024 is in the books. We are getting out of here, and we're saying goodbye.
Ta-ta.
Bye.